Pelosi, I don't see anything inappropriate in rigging primaries. Okay, this has to be a mistake. Hang on. I don't see anything inappropriate in rigging primary. Okay, that's what it says. So she's okay with rigging primary elections. Is that what she's saying? Because this has to be a mistake. Okay, this has to be fake news. The Intercept has published a secretly taped audio recording of one of the most powerful Democrats in America pressuring a progressive candidate to drop out of Colorado congressional primary race. Okay, interesting to know. It hasn't been getting as much attention as the WikiLeaks drop on the DNC's sabotage of the Sanders campaign because it's not about a presidential race. Don't worry, we will do our best. But make no mistakes, this is the single most damning piece of evidence ever published exposing the Democratic Party's war on progressives. The recording featured House Minority Whip Steny Hoyer, interesting name there, Whip, a second highest ranking Democrat in the House of Representatives, informing primary challenger Levi Tillman that if he runs, he will be running against not just the chosen establishment candidate, Jason Crow, but against Hoyer and the full might of the Democratic Congress Campaign Committee, or DCCC, as well. Wow. Wow. Okay. Moving on. Which means effectively Congressman Hoyer, Tillman is hearing saying toward the end of the recording, I'm running a campaign against Crow and against you and against the DCCC because you guys are on Crow's side. Holy dooly. We do have the recording. We will play that for you in a sec. Yeah, replied Hoyer. You know, frankly, that happens in life all the time. We're going to play that recording right now.
In his farewell address, President Obama told Americans that if they were fed up, they should go out and run for office.
If you're disappointed by your elected officials, grab a clipboard, get some signatures, and run for office yourself.
And in the Trump era, thousands of Democrats have heeded his call, running for office in elections across the country. Meanwhile, in the race for Congress, the DCCC, or the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, has moved aggressively to crush competitive primaries. DCCC officials and senior Democrats are hand-picking moderate, business-friendly candidates and are attempting to push progressives out of key races. In Colorado's 6th District, one of the most competitive seats in the country, the DCCC moved in early to select Jason Crow, a corporate lawyer, as the party candidate, pushing resources, endorsements, and money to Crow while elbowing out progressive Democratic competitors. The Democratic Party often denies that they play favorites. What follows is a meeting between Congressman Steny Hoyer, the number 2 Democrat in the House, and Levi Tillman, a progressive running for the nomination for the Colorado seat.
Levi, I want to talk to you about this congressional race.
Absolutely, that's what I expected.
Yeah.
You would like me to get out of the race.
You keep saying I would like you to get out. And of course that's correct.
Yeah. I know you're fundraising for Crow.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm for Crow. I am for Crow because a judgment was made very early on. I didn't participate in the decision.
So your position is a decision was made, very early on before voters had to say, that's fine because that's the DCCC knows better than the voters of the 6th Congressional District, and we should line up behind that candidate.
That's certainly the consequence of our decision. There are 2 things I'd like you to consider. One may be easier than the other. First would be if you stay in the race. Frankly, I would hope you would not. I'll get to that. But if you stay in the race, it is not useful to the objective to tear down Crow. Crow's clearly the favorite. That doesn't mean you win. It just means he's the favorite.
I hear you.
That doesn't mean it's right. It just means
No, I hear you.
Right. I don't know Crow well, but I think he's a decent human being.
So before we go any further on that, Crow is the favorite, in no small part, Congressman Hoyer, because the DCCC not only put its finger on the scale, but started jumping on the scale very early on. And I'm born and raised a Democrat. I mean, it's undemocratic to have a small elite select someone and then try to rig the primary against the other people running, and that is basically what's been happening.
I hear you, and I disagree.
But you were part of that process
Absolutely.
as well. You said
Absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
I've been at this a long time.
Yeah.
When I said you need to get in strong, hard, and early, you disagree with me. Obviously, that's your choice.
And you guys are shoveling money at him.
We're going to continue.
You're going to continue to do it?
We are going to continue to do it. And the reason we why we're going to do it is because a decision was made to focus. It was clear that was our policy and our hope that we could early on try to come to an agreement on a candidate that we thought could win the general.
Mm-hmm.
And to give that candidate all the help we could give them so that we would have a unified effort going into a general election.
Which means, effectively, Congressman Hoyer, I'm running a campaign against Crow and against you and against the DCCC because you guys are on Crow's side.
Yeah. Frankly, that happens in life all the time.
Okay. Holy dooly. Wow. Okay. Why isn't this trending? Oh, wait. Because Twitter trends. Yeah. So there you have it. Simply don't get any more incriminating than a published recording of a top Democratic informing a progressive candidate that the party will be placing its thumbs on the scale against its primary opponent if it doesn't drop out. Damn, this is... Okay. It's good to see the DNC is still doing the exact same tactics as it did with Bernie and Hillary, isn't it? Or at least that's what I've thought. And it sounds exactly like you say. Yes, that's my take on it too. Nancy Pelosi, the only House Democrat who outranks Hoyer, somehow surpassed the jaw-dropping revelation in audio recording by giving Hoyer's actions her full-throated endorsement. Yeah, because she probably knows about that. Does anybody at this stage not think that Nancy Pelosi is in on this? Because I don't, to be honest. Quote, I don't know that a person can tape a person without a person's consent and then release it to the press, Pelosi told reporters today. Quote, in terms of candidates and campaigns, I don't see anything inappropriate in what Mr. Hoyer was engaged in. Holy dooly. A conversation about realities of life in the race as to who can make the general election. Holy dooly. That's right, instead of blaming this evidence on Russian hackers, Democratic Party leaders has opted to try a brand new approach. They're openly admitting to knowingly rigging their primaries against progressive candidates and saying that it's right thing to do because that's how you win general elections. Wow. So to recap, the leader of the Democratic Party is no longer attempting to hide the fact that it deliberately stacks its own primaries against progressive candidates, and yet still have the gall to act like they're the smartest adults in the room to whom to win the general elections. Your vote, how we say, is sheer strategic brilliance. The same people who lost over 1,000 seats under Obama. The leader of the Democratic Party may be experts at defeating progressive primary challenges, but they don't know how to win general elections. Winning general elections is not their concern. Last year we saw a resort tycoon, Stephen Colbeck, openly boast on national television that he instructed Pelosi and other Dem leaders to expose a pro-billionaire platform or else risk losing problematic funding. And that's exactly what we are seeing them do. The Democratic Party doesn't care about winning elections. It cares about making sure the orchestras who own it are able to continue ruling over the deliberately impoverished and political impotent masses. That is its job. That is its function. Since power is relative and America has a system wherein money translates directly into political power, a proletariat class has emerged which is naturally incentivized to keep the rest of America as poor as possible in order to rule like kings. The proletariat class wields immense political influence over both parties with legalized bribery in the form of campaign contributions and corporate lobbying, while the deliberately impoverished majority of the Americans have no influence whatsoever over US policy and behavior, regardless of how they vote. Those proletariats don't care who wins. They are not buying out races because they care which horse comes in front. They only care about both horses serve them. Americans are manipulated into supporting this extortion scheme of corporate orchestry, I might be mispronouncing, by a proletariat-owned media propaganda system which uses fear as divisiveness and herd them into one or two proletariat-owned mainstream parties, both which have placed interest of their own corporate owners over the interest of the people, and even in over winning. Progressives have been successfully correlated into the donkey party, or by using the carrot of someday, maybe, hopefully, having some kind of economic justice that sticks of but Trump. But the donkey party is the elephant party with a different mascot, different bumper stickers. So I disagree with that part. They're saying here that the Americans are manipulated into supporting this extortion scheme of corporate obesity by a media propaganda system which uses fear and divisiveness to herd them into two owned mainstream parties. That I totally agree with. We know that the propaganda system of mainstream media, i.e. far left, actually go through and use fear to make sure people vote for the left. At the moment, all you've seen on news for the past 2 years almost is how much Trump is going to ruin America, how we're going to go to war. He's the Antichrist, quite literally. He's Voldemort, for example. That was one that was going around. Just all these memes, how he's going to go through, he's going to crash the economy, yada, yada, yada. Now, they don't report on anything beneficial that he does, because obviously he goes against their agenda. This article here seems to want to love Trump in with the Republicans. They haven't quite worked out. Trump isn't a Republican of sorts. He's not a part of the establishment. Trump is a centrist. Trump is an anti-globalist. This article is on the right point, or getting to the right point, but they're sort of missing the forest because of the trees. They're seeing the corruption and everything go in with the Washington and the deep state and everything like that, but they're not seeing the puppet master for who it truly is, which is George Soros, Rupert Murdoch, and everybody that's on the far left. Now, obviously, this is a progressive issue or a progressive blog, as far as I know. So at the end of the day, they're not going to see things clearly. But yeah, they're on the right track, but they're still seeing it through their progressive lens. If we could red pill them, they might be worthwhile, but let's keep going. This clearly is not working. The Democratic Party has locked the door on human interest, bolted it shut, and is now admitting it openly. At least when they were trying to hide it, they could be pressured into allowing progressive candidates something loosely resembling a fair shot at an election. But now they're saying, no, progressives are the enemy, out. So they can't even be pressured to pretend they have real primaries. The Democrats are officially an overfunded novelty joke party with a humorous, ironic novelty joke name. They are useless, they are worthless, time for something new. Okay, so what's the takeaway from all this, and what's my view? Okay, so they're on the right track. I feel that they're missing the forest because of the trees, like I said. they haven't realized that their progressive agenda just isn't popular. People aren't interested in it. It's why they're losing the culture war. And they seem to want to sit there and blame the Democrats for it. I'm sorry, but no one wants to go around and have universal income. And Finland tried this, and just yesterday we reported they're failing it. They cancelled it. No one wants socialized systems like that. No one wants a communist party. And that's the way the progressives are heading. They also don't realize that Trump isn't evil. He's not a part of the GOP establishment, which is why he has such a problem with some of the GOP taking him on, and why some Democrats. But yeah, he's not a warmonger. And at the end of the day, the sooner they learn that he's not the enemy, the better. I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you care about the bickering between the Democratic Party? Do you care that the progressives don't get a shot? Or are you sitting there thinking, well, no, Nancy Pelosi's right. You're not popular. No one wants this idea. So we're just not going to give you a chance. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack a like. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great day and enjoy.